game is a game I've spoken about a little bit in the Gen Con videos.
Love this game.
Well, spoiler alert, I do love this game. This game is called Kites, Time to Fly, and this is a cooperative real-time experience. And in this game, you have sand timers that represent different colored kites that are up in the air. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep those kites up in the air. We do not want any of those kites to come down. And as a group, what we're going to be doing is playing cards out of our hand that represent one of those colored kites. So for example, a card could have a red kite on it. When I play that card, the red sand timer gets flipped, or rather I have to physically flip the sand timer. And that's what happens as you move around the table. Every person is going to be playing a card, changing a sand timer or two, and then drawing a card back up. And the objective of this game is to get rid of the entire amount of cards that are in the deck, as well as every card in everybody's hand. However, there are a few twists on that. There is a white timer that can only be turned if you play a single colored card, because there are cards that have two colored kites on them, which make you turn two sand timers. But the really cool element that I like about this game is you're playing and you're playing and you're playing and you're making sure none of those sand timers run out. And by the way, some of them are faster than others. So some of them have less sand in them than others, which is kind of fun. But the thing that I like is you keep playing until the deck runs out. So you can no longer draw back up to your 5 cards in your hand. And then what happens is from that point onwards, the white timer can no longer be turned. And now you have until that white timer runs out to clear everybody's hand. And I love that moment in the game because
run, just go, 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 go.
Because the early part of the game, there's a lot of communication. You're saying to each other, oh, someone do the red kite, someone do the orange kite.
We need blue, we need blue.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
yellow one's about to run out.
Yeah.
And you're kind of cooperating in order to get everything done. And you've got lots of people watching. But at that point where the deck runs out, it's just like,
just
get rid of your cards, turn what you can.
Yeah.
And it just descends into chaos. And often you can win you can lose just because that white timer runs out, which is super frustrating, but also hilarious. And this game is just really fast paced. There's always a lot of laughter.
Big energizer game. Yeah.
Once you have worked out that core mechanic and
if
how
you
to
ever
beat
do,
the game,
yes,
how to beat the game.
To, some groups that we've played with, we have never managed to get past that phase.
And may never. But there are cards in here that really mix up the game and make it significantly harder. There's 3 types of cards. One card is aeroplane mode. When that card is played, no one is allowed to talk. So there's no for that next round. So there's
just
no
a lot of quiet sweating and intense
just
staring
at the red timer, hoping someone will
for
flip
that
it.
round.
The other one is a storm is coming, so it's got a little storm on it. When you pick up this card, you say a storm is coming, and on your next turn you have to play the card, which is going to flip every sand timer. So people get a bit of a warning that that's going to happen, and then you're turning everything, which is really fun. And then the third one is entangled lines.
It's like cross lines.
Cross lines, that's it. And when you play that card, everyone has to swap a card with the person on their left and the person on their right. And while you can do that swap fairly quickly, what it means is everyone is looking to the left and right, and inevitably what happens is a sand timer runs out.
It takes their eye off the timer.
It takes the eye off the timers. And this game, obviously, is a very simple game. It's really quick and easy to explain, and it is so much fun as a game that, like, I've taken this game to work now, and there's just so much laughter and people really grasp it quickly. And it is cooperative, and we don't usually like cooperative games,
but sand timers, that seems to be the maybe that's what we should do. It's like if there's a co-op game, they're like, oh, but it's co-op. It's like, let's just throw in a sand timer. And we're probably going to be fine then. So we'll probably enjoy it.
It takes the focus of having to cooperate with each other.
It's like, there's a time, it's running out. It's like,
but I absolutely adore this game. I
hadn't even noticed how beautiful the artwork is on the cards, because you're always just looking at the icons and you're just in such a panic.
It is beautiful.
And it wasn't until
art.
and it wasn't until recently that I was like, actually, some of these cards are really stunning. As well.
And I like that there's cards that have two colors on them. So if it's blue and red, then the kite is blue and red that's on there. It's like just such a nice detail. I really like this. I really, really like this game. I keep talking about this game. But I do love a game that can energize between heavier games or bring people together who maybe are uncomfortable in a new group.
A great icebreaker.
Exactly. Maggie likes fun games less. Maggie likes fun less.
My gamer profile was like, I think from there it's like 2% fun. It's like I'll have 2%, like very, very low. I don't like fun games. So this one is like, I enjoy it one game. Like I'll do one game. The second one I'm like,
tolerate it
I don't know.
For one game. And then I
and people say like, again. I'm like, you play. You can all play. I'll go over there and I'll read a rule book. I'll start learning the next game.
But if you're looking for just like a fun little filler that still feels like a challenge, then check out Kites.